What's up, guys? Shockwave 640 here, and today we're taking a look at the Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Dinobot Snarl. And of course, this is one of the figures along with Slash that were Dinobots that were not actually featured in the film. There was a few others, but I don't really remember who they all are. I know one of them was Slog. Slog and this guy were not featured in the actual film. I'm gonna guess that these are probably figures from the concept art, or they were planned to be in the movie, but they didn't cut out for whatever reason. I have no idea. I wasn't at the table or the meeting, so I have no idea. But so of course here is Snarl, and let's get the size comparisons. So here we have the Voyager Age of Extinction Evasion Mode Optimus Prime, right there. Here we have Generations Scoop, just because I haven't done a size comparison with him in a while. Here we go. If you haven't checked out his review, do be sure to do that. Very cool figure. And then here we have the little reveal of the shield Bumblebee. So there we go. Now let's get in here and take a look at the magnificent details on this figure. He's coated in this very nice metallic green paint and a slightly metallic green plastic. As you can see, the darker green is the plastic, and this lighter green here is very metallic, lighter green is paint. He's got some nice metallic purple. Very nice, translucent. It's like a yellowish green kind of color. I call it clear lime. Is usually what I call it. Nice green back there. You can see his tail. You can kind of see some junk hanging out around and through here. I mean, he's a little bit weird looking, especially when you come to the back. I mean, you can just see his hands there. I mean, yeah, the dinosaur mode really only looks good from this angle, or well, not even really from head on. It really just looks good standing like that. You have it facing straight to the side. It looks kind of weird, and but oh well. So sorry about my voice. I'm very sick right now, but I wanted to make the video anyways. Here you can see his head sculpt with nice silver paint. You got some red, and the eyebrows are picked out. That's pretty much it. They didn't bother painting his teeth. You can clearly see his feet just sitting right there, right below his head, but they sort of blend in. Nice dark gray, got some black paint there. I think this is actually the only dark gray on the figure, besides the neck in here. That might be the only dark gray on the figure. Yeah, because his thighs are obviously green, so kind of weird why they only chose that little bit. I think this would have looked much better maybe in this clear color, or maybe just keep it this dark green. Oh, excuse me. Articulation in this mode, can barely wiggle his head side to side. He can move his neck up and down. He can move his head up and down. He can open his mouth very, very, very widely. Hang on a second. He can open his mouth like intensely wide, like he's just yelling at the world. He's not very happy. So the front legs here are on a ball joint, so you can get them going about out that far, full 360 with no problem. You do have basically just a one-click knee that just kind of folds forward. You don't really have much of an in-between, because as you can see, it is on a ratchet, but your ratchet is very limited, as you really only get like 2 clicks. Like one's a barely click, and then the other one's just like a full click going all the way forward. More for transformation, that movement there, but oh well. Oh yeah, Autobot symbol right there. You can also see some like nice gears and stuff throughout. And also, I'm going to show you the details here on the plates and the actual tail itself. Very cool. But other articulation, his legs can go backwards this far, and forwards not really any. It's kind of cool that the hinge is there. That's not even his shoulder joint. That's just an actual hinge they put there for the dinosaur. And if you start to transform him a little bit and ripping his tail apart and stuff, you can kind of access this ball joint if you do wish to do so, but then you start to mistransform things and unattach things that don't want to be attached. And then you can rotate his legs here and bend him at the knee just about up here until the hand starts colliding with stuff, and if you want to, you can move the hand wherever you wish. I prefer it with the fingers facing out, but you can have it with the hand looking like that. I just think it looks a little bit better like this. I honestly don't know why they didn't put a hinge to just kind of fold it up inside there, but oh well. And that's pretty much it for articulation. Accessories, they are stored on the dinosaur mode. Here you have the first part of it, which just tabs in right into that little dark spot right there, using the tab right there. You just tab it in, and it really doesn't tab in, it just kind of sits there and wobbles around, but we'll get to that later. And then if you come here to the back and split his tail, you can see he's got this piece right here, which tabs in there and there using the 2 tabs on the side of the handle. And we will set that onto the side because we will be getting to that later. Oh, and then we can just close this back up, and there you go. He still does have a tail, but he doesn't really have a Stegosaurus tail, but oh well. Now let's get down to the transformation. I do quite like the transformation on this guy. What you want to do first is you're going to see that tab right there. You're going to bring the dino legs up because this little triangular slot right, can't really see it, right, let me see if I can, right in there. You can see where the spike is sticking in. Little triangular tab. You're going to bring this up and kind of just play with the joints and stuff. You're going to get that tab right there to go into the spot that I pointed out. Kind of hard to do, considering you can't exactly see anything. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. And that will lock the dinosaur leg in place so it's not moving around. Do the same on this side. It's going to bring that up. There we go. Tab those into place. They do hold on quite securely, and now he just kind of, I don't even know. He looks like he's a missile or something. I have no idea. But you just, also you want to make sure you have these legs straight so that this tab right here is facing straight backwards. Come in here. Going to, alright, just come in here, split this tail. Just gotta kind of bring it up there to get it out of the way. Gonna bring this entire spine section up. Just kind of bring it back there to get that out of the way as well. Now you're going to come raise these legs up because you're gonna have to get them out of the way. Like I said, I mean, lots of this stuff will collide with each other. So you just kind of have to move it around. Basically, just so you can get it like that. Now you have the room to operate. You want to go in here, untab this dinosaur section here. From there, it tabs in very securely. Basically, it just tabs in using these 2 tabs going into these slots here underneath his chest, like so. And you're just going to bring that down. You're going to actually bring this waist down, and it will clip on right there, as you can see, like that. You will feel it click into place. Just going to straighten out his legs, like so. Split his legs, and then here you can see you're just going to fold the dinosaur head in, like so. Flip out the foot, and it will actually lock into place. There's a little tab right there that will just kind of fit into that little notch, kind of like that, and just hold that into place. Just kind of come in here, do the same on this side. I really need to tighten up this guy's hip joints. His hip joints are quite loose, as you can see right here. He can't even actually hold his legs up, so I do really need to do that. It's just because his legs are really heavy. He can't exactly hold them up very well. Something's going wrong here. So it doesn't want to stay flat. There it goes. And also, what I really do like is they did mold in the second head. It would have been nice if they painted it, but you can't see the second head in there just for symmetry. I think it would have been a lot better if they just made the head one single piece and it splits into 2. Because it does kind of weird with the 2 heads inside of his legs, but what are you going to do? And also, this head does not flip out. It is just locked into place right there. But it does look exactly the same as this head, pretty much. I mean, you can see all the details are there. Yes, none of it is picked out in paint. So there you go. You have his legs all done. You can just get him standing, like so. Now you're just going to bring his arms down, because originally they were tucked into his chest like this. You're going to bring them up and then bring them down, so that way the shoulder joint is actually now in the right place. I'm going to rotate his forearm and rotate his, rotate his forearm so the black part's facing out, and then rotate his hand so it is like this. And then you're going to bring this, and that will tab into that slot, locking the dinosaur joint in place, and now you just have the full range of movement that the arm is supposed to have. So there you go. arm all done. Do the same on this side. Bring that down. Rotate that up. Tab that in. There you go. Come in here with this little tab. Bring up his head. It will lock into place. Like so. There you go. And now you can come in here, separate this piece here, and kind of do whatever you want with that. And there you go, guys. There you have Snarl in his robot mode. And let me just kind of get him a little bit situated here. A lot of these Dinobots are a little bit on the fiddly side, but that's just because of that's just the way that they are designed. It's not really a flaw in the figure itself. It's just this guy has a lot of spikes and stuff on him, much like Grimlock had. Just a lot of things going on. So there's just too much stuff going on to really be able to deal with properly. So of course, evasion mode Optimus Prime. Of course, he's dwarfed by him, which is completely wrong. But oh well. Here we have Bumblebee, which should be more of the right size. I think these Deluxes scale better with the Legends figures, just because. Let me grab a Legends Optimus off of my shelf real quick. Let me move Scoop off, and here he is with like a Legends Optimus. That works for me. I think that this is a right scale for the Dinobots versus the Autobots or the Decepticons, and this is the Revenge of the Fallen. I think it was Legends or something. I think it was probably Commander class because this is a Cyberverse figure. So that's just how I think that they scale better with. Oh man. Excuse me. So now let's get in here and look at the new details exposed. Here you can see his head sculpt. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on with his head sculpt, but basically it's got some purple eyes in there. As you can see, his eyes are in there. And then you can see he's got like whale teeth, or like a baleen whale's teeth. It's kind of weird, but very nice metallic green paint. I do like the horns he's got going on. Kind of reminds me of a Gundam, especially a Reconquista NG Gundam. That's what the head sculpt reminds me of. Nice purple paint. It would have been nice if this was picked out in purple or it's kind of like the silver color, but they're not. Nice purple there, some nice silver, some black, Autobot symbol, nothing on the other shoulder. Coming down here, same exact details carried over from the Dino mode, and that's pretty much it detail-wise. He's a little bit plain, especially when it comes to paint. I would have liked if he had a little bit more of this metallic purple, maybe on his forearms somewhere, or here on his biceps, or somewhere on his legs. That would have been nice. Like maybe just kind of on his feet or something. The purple's centered on his chest, and it doesn't really look all that great. It looks like this should be a Legends toy, because that's what Legends toys do. Their paint's always featured on either their alt mode or something weird. But articulation on this guy, his head is on a ball joint. You can get it looking down. You can look even more down using the hinge right there for transformation. Can't really look up all that well just because the shape of his head, and you can look that far to the side, about that far to the side. So there you go. His arms do go up pretty much about that far before things start getting in the way and colliding with each other. He does have a bicep swivel. He has an elbow, but of course he has the gorilla elbows. But for him, it really works just because of the weapons. And then you can rotate his fist a full 360. Also very weird, but I will explain that in a minute. Nothing at the waist because of the transformation. His hips, his legs will go that far forward. His legs will go that far backward. His knee, of course, pretty much exactly 90 degrees. And you can move his feet up and down, and they're already molded in a pre-tilted pose. And if you use the transformation joint, you can have them bringing like further back or whatever you want. And that's pretty much it for his articulation. Oh yeah, and also he has a thigh swivel as well. Forgot to mention that. And then his legs can go that far out. Not really all that much. He's not really the most impressive when it comes to posing, but just standing there, I think he looks really, really cool. I do quite like the way that this guy looks. I'm so sorry. Now, as for his accessories, as you can see, I just threw it, the tip of his tail and the spines that were on the top. What you want to do is unfold the spines so that you have them like this, flip it down so that this little handle right here, which he can hold, and you can have him use this as like a bow weapon. You can't even see what I'm doing. You can use it as like a bow weapon if you wanted to do that, if that suits your style. There you go. He can have a bow weapon, or he can just use this thing and kind of use it as a club, like so. You can just bunk people upside the head with that. But what's really cool about this is the fact, oh, and also, if you want him to hold this, you clip it into this skinny part right there. Let me try to do this. You clip into this skinny part and then slide it up so that he can actually have a grip on the thick part, because this part's way too loose and he'll just end up dropping it and you can't slide down, so it's got to be held like that's as low. This is pretty much as low as it's gonna go, and he's only holding it by like his first finger. So I just felt like I'd point that out. Now his accessory, how you combine these two is very simple. It's going to flip this upside down, and you can see there's a slot right there and a little hole right in there. You're basically just going to feed this peg through there, and that slot will go around the blade, like so. And then slide that all the way down. And there you have his axe, which looks amazing. And then I've seen some people do it like this. Like they would go like that and then kind of break this piece off just to have the like tomahawk look, which does look cool too, but I like the double-bladed axe kind of concept. I do think that's very cool. Also, this axe does only bend the one way, because when you bring it up, that peg does stop it, so I would not recommend trying to force it, because just because if you try to force it, you're going to end up breaking that peg off. So don't try to force this past the other way. It only bends this one way, which is if you're looking at it frontwards with the spikes going down, it bends this way, which is counterclockwise, I believe. And then if you're looking at it from the back, it goes down clockwise. So keep that in mind, so you don't break your toy. Now bringing in him, the same exact concept works for how he holds his axe, just upside down basically. He's going to clip his hand right in there, bring it down, and rotate it so that those spikes and the blade is facing forward, like so. And there we have him holding his axe. And now let me get to the point of his weird hands. I mean, his elbow only lets him bring it in like this. But what you can do is, using this joint allows him to actually have some really, really epic looking God dang it, this came undone. Crap. Let me see if I can get this back in. Hang on. Going off screen for a second. Okay, back. I had to get that leg tabbed back in. So basically, you can get him in an awesome axe pointing pose, which I really, really do like. I think that this is pretty freaking awesome. Or you can just have him standing in the mutual... let me get this stuff past each other. You just kind of have him standing in the mutual, I'm going to kill you and you are going to die within a few seconds, so I'll be seeing you later. You can get him in one of these kind of poses where he's just kind of holding it down like that. And then the last pose you can pretty much do that I've really bothered doing is you can bring it up, swing his axe around, and you can have him holding it over his shoulder like that, which I think is very freaking awesome. That's like my favorite thing about this figure, because at first I thought his arms were supposed to go like this, and I was just like, what in the world is happening with these hands? I mean, he looks like he's got a broken hand. I mean, if you did it like this, he would have proper elbows. I mean, his elbow goes all the way up, but he's got weird looking hands. And then I realized, if you turn this to the side, rotate his hand up, that looks like a proper arm. So, and also his shoulders are kind of wonky too, but you can get some pretty freaking awesome poses out of this guy. It just takes a little bit of finesse, and I really do need to tighten up those joints, because that's not helping the fact that he's kind of floppy and a little bit wonky. But that's pretty much it, guys. That is the Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Snarl. My personal opinion on this figure, it's okay. If you found this thing cheap at like a garage sale, or if you found it on eBay, if you found it for like $10, maybe the maximum I would go would be $15, the standard price of a deluxe. I'd get it. Now, if somebody's trying to charge like $30 for it, I wouldn't get it. This thing is not even worth $20. So, it is a cool figure, but is it better than Scorn? Not even close, because he's the only other deluxe I have. Scorn's my favorite Dinobot from the movie, so that's pretty much it, guys. Well, I am Shockwave640. This was Scorn, and I will be seeing you later, because I have a special review for you tomorrow. So peace, guys.